Yes, my name is Dr. Wadell Brooks, Sr., your host, and this is Lake County Community Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, Lake County Community Forum programs are informative and career-oriented. We have with us Mr. Kenneth Smith. His profession is photography. He is a person that you should know. Mr. Smith is a resident of the city of North Chicago, and he's a candidate for the 5th Ward Alderman in the city of North Chicago. Good evening, Mr. Smith.
Good evening.
I want you to tell our listening audience a little bit about your personal and professional background.
All right. Well, first of all, Dr. Brooks, thank you for having me on your program. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you and your audience today. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm a lifelong resident of North Chicago, and I've been active in the community all my life. I basically started with the youth ministry when I was like 19, a youth myself. But even at the early age, I understood the importance of getting young people involved in church and also in the community. I also started taking pictures when I was a youth myself. I've been taking pictures over 40 years. Started in high school, and from high school, I've built a successful photography business. Also, I'm international. With that, I've done, in 2013, there was a typhoon in the Philippines. I went with a medical team over there. I captured pictures over there when I was in the Philippines. And actually, some of the pictures that I've taken over there actually made the front page of the newspaper here in Lake County. But, you know, Lake County, North Chicago, the 5th Ward, is which I'm also running as a candidate for the 5th Ward. It's been a part of my DNA. I've been a homeowner in the 5th Ward over 19 years. And so that's just a little capsule of my life here in North Chicago in the 5th Ward.
Well, describe North Chicago then and now.
All right, then and now. Well, here's something I think you can identify. Back then, we had to be in the house before the street lights came on. Okay. And one of the things that was exciting about growing up here in North Chicago is that the young people, we spent our time outside. You know, we came home from school, at least for me, when I came home from school, I had to do my chores first. Then I could go outside and play. And, you know, sometimes, you know, I cut them corn, like, you know, sweep stuff up under the bed, you know, because I want to hurry and get outside and play, enjoy the beautiful day before the sun went down and those street lights came on. But today, a lot of our young people, they want to just focus on doing video games on their phones. And what I want to try to do is take it back to the old days, not so much everything, but building and teaching our young people work ethics. You know, the importance of, you know, getting out and working in the community and having your own money. And one thing I've always had was my own money, because I believe in working hard for what you want. And here in America, which is a great country, it's, you know, we've always been said the land of opportunity. And that's what I believe, that you can have what you want if you're willing to work for what you want.
What is the responsibilities of an alderman in the case of the youth, for example? What position does the alderman take?
Well, the aldermen work together as a team. You know, I have the acronyms for team. Together, each accomplishes much. And in that, we work as a city council. We work alongside with the mayor, and we make it. We put together ordinances for the city to take the city to the, you know, to make the city better improvements for the city, and also not only just for the city. And what the part that I will play is making things better for the 5th Ward in North Chicago. For those of you that may not know, the 5th Ward covers Lewis Avenue to Buckley Road to Green Bay, and Green Bay back to Argonne Drive, and Argonne to Lewis Avenue. And in that, there's a lot of growth, a lot of potential there. And that's what I'm going to focus on in making things better for our community. And, you know, a great book that I read often, it says, he who is to be the greatest must be the servant of them all. And that's one of the things that I have implemented in my life, of being a servant. You know, throughout my time, I've helped with various organizations, dinners for seniors, turkeys for our families, and different, you know, not only at Thanksgiving, but, you know, giving out turkeys, giving out dinners, feeding the hungry, internationally so, and also locally, because it's important to serve your community and be there so that people can see who you are, not just being a phone call away or having your name somewhere, but that the people know who you are, that the people, my goal is that the people in the Fifth Ward, and most of them already know me, but not only just for my name, but what I do for the community and for the residents of North Chicago.
Now, how do you contact your residents in your Fifth Ward?
Well, one of the ways is that we would definitely have quarterly ward meetings where they can come, express their views, opinions, things that they see are concerns that need to be done, that they would like to see done. And one thing my motto is, success begins with you and me. And see, the importance is of us doing it together. The same concept of a team, okay? The residents working together with me, the future alderman, I believe, okay, working together with me to make things happen, along with the city council, because I want to know what their needs are, I want to know what their concerns are, and that's how we get things done, working together.
You mentioned about working together. You have other entities too. You have the park district and you have the school district, and you also have a township. I think that's huge.
Absolutely, absolutely. And working with the park district and Foss Park, you know, and all the working together with them, because see, I've always had the philosophy that the young people are the adults of tomorrow, and a lot of times we forget about our young people. And see, if we invest in our young people, the young people will want to come back and invest and give back new technology, new things that they've learned when they went to college to make their city a better place to live. And one of the things I want to implement strongly out the gate, you know, is the watch program. The neighborhood watch. And you see, I feel, you know, there's been neighborhood watch programs before, but I feel that the problem has been they have been properly trained. You know, there's the people say, well, I don't want to be a snitch. Well, it's not about being a snitch. It's about protecting your family and your friends, your neighborhood, and just, hey, doing what we have to do to grow our city, to make our city a safer place for our children to go back and forth to school. And again, to get back to playing outside, to be able to go to the parks that we have. You know, we're getting ready to have this new beach built up. You know, they can feel safe to go there and play at our own beach in North Chicago, play at the various parks that we have. And again, it goes back to having a good neighborhood watch. And with that neighborhood watch, including the residents having a presence of knowing who their policemen are for the ward, having a presence with the police force. And, you know, right now, a lot of people have a negative connotation of some of the police, but that's not all policemen. You know, just like everybody's not bad, you know? So it's, again, of building that rapport with the policemen, building a rapport with your aldermen, so we can all work together to accomplish this common good.
How about the police department as a whole? They have programs where they can get the community involved, right?
Absolutely.
An academy,
absolutely.
I believe they have there.
Yes, the police academy, where you can go and learn the process of what it takes to, they have a court system where you can go and see what, when people are taken to court. And just, you know, sometimes you can even ride along and find out what's going on, you know, when people are being challenged. But one of the things that the city has, I'm not sure exactly of the positive of the name, but what it does, it alerts the police when gunshots are fired. To me, that's awesome, because that'll help you narrow down, be on top of things when violence are taking place, with gun violence. And that's a good way of controlling. One of the ways, you know, it's a small way, but it is a way of controlling firearm and the activity of firearms in our community.
Mr. Smith, you sound like a man with a vision. And without vision, what? People perish, right?
That's right. And you know what? That's in that book that I read That's in that book. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And as a, you know, as I believe in the future alderman, I will come in with visions and plans and ideas because and new ideas. And again, not and keeping in mind, you know, some of the things that have already been put in place, adding on to them and keeping them going. As our present alderman is put in place, but also taking it to the next level of the dreams and visions that I may have, and add along with our mayor, things that he wants to do for the city. And again, North Chicago used to be called the city of vision. I remember that. And that's what I want to do, implement North Chicago, make North Chicago the place on the map that people want to come to. That people are not afraid to come to North Chicago, to bring their children. So, you know, we got a lot of things that's on the table that they want to do for North Chicago, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that.
What about the mayor, former mayor Leo Kukla? He say North Chicago is a city of vision.
Yes,
now,
yes.
Where is that vision, though? You know, I mentioned that because previously we've had about 5 chain grocery stores. Kroger on 15th and Sheridan Road. We have A&P, Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, you going back, Mr. Brooks. You're going back. You're gonna tell your age pretty soon.
Well, when you remember, you remember I mentioned about then and now.
Yes.
So I go back then and now. What about now? Why don't we have
you know,
a store now?
In case people don't know, we do have a grocery store coming. It's going to be at the old, it's going to be where the Paris banquet hall is presently.
Okay.
And you know, it's just like an elephant. How do you eat an elephant, Mr. Brooks? One bite at a time. So we know North Chicago's had some challenges, but we're overcoming them a little bit at a time. And that's what it takes. You know, we got that grocery store coming where our seniors can go. We don't have to go over the bridge. We can go right down the street. And we want to support our business. We got a Harold's Chicken coming, you know, another African-American business is coming to the neighborhood, to our town. And that's how we do it. We're working on doing some other things with the Navy base down on Sheridan Road. And, you know, but it takes time. And like I said, but there is a vision.
As a young man, you have a great vision that you stated for the city of North Chicago. But tell us how important it is to have a vision. And what is your vision?
Oh, wow. Vision is important. And like I said, North Chicago, we have a vision. There is a vision. There's a lot of things that we want to see accomplished. But it takes time. You know, as I said before, how do you eat an elephant? A little bit at a time. So, you know, we've had some, grocery stores in the past and challenges came up. You know, that's life. Okay, but we're on a good path. We got the grocery store. The grocery store is going to provide some jobs for some young people and some adults. It'd be easier for our seniors to get to a grocery store, having to go over the hill. But not only that, okay, I have provided some work already for some young people. We had the blizzard. I hired 4 young men to go out and shovel 21 of our seniors' driveways. And, you know, and that's what I'm all about, trying to make a difference in our community. And some people may say, oh, well, you're just doing it for the campaign. No, I'm not. I've always done. That's been a part of my DNA, helping people in the church, helping people in the community. And I'm not going to stop doing that because it's in my DNA. You know, I've come from good stock. My mom and dad, they trained me. You know, they taught me as far as getting out there and working, you know, and cutting grass. I used to cut grass and shovel snow. So therefore, I understand a good work ethic because I always like what I like, you know, so it takes money. So I've always worked hard to get what I want. And that's something I want to instill in our young people in this generation, to get out, have your own work, get you a car, you know, get your own apartment. It's nothing like having your own. And those are things I want to instill in our young people so that when they grow up, they have that same thing. They can keep it going on and on and on, because family is definitely important.
You grew up with the old Proverbs, train up a child the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart.
He will not depart from it.
So you're demonstrating that now. Well,
yes, sir.
God opened doors for us. We should open doors for others.
Right? Amen. There's another scripture that says, what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you.
Okay. You mentioned about, what about Sheridan Crossing? There was a vision to have Sheridan Crossing. Let's see, that's about Sheridan Road and Martin Luther
18th
King
Street,
Avenue.
18th, yes. Well, a thing with a vision, see, a lot of times people, they want a quick fix, okay? So with a vision, sometimes it takes time to make those visions come to pass, okay? Noah had a vision, a building the ark. It took him a long time to build it. Someone laughed at him and talked about it, but it happened and it rained. So, it just takes time, and I believe as the city continues to grow and progress, that will be a great spot to have, and we look at it further down Sheridan Road, doing some work on a museum for the Navy base, bringing a movie theater, something, all of these are vision of things that we want to make happen. But, it takes finances, it takes investors, and, and the city's working toward that.
Tell us about resources within the city of North Chicago and surrounding areas that would make North Chicago grow.
Well, I mean, working with the city, the city treasurer, and we have some people running for those positions, but our current treasurer, Kenneth Robinson, and some of the other businesses that are willing to invest. For example, we have, I think the organization is called Renew, and what they're doing is taking older houses, fixing them up, buying land and building houses to show our young people the importance of owning as opposed to just renting. I think that is an awesome program. I had my first unit when I was 19 years old because I understood the importance of owning your own stuff as opposed to renting. So, those are some programs that I do know of, and some ways that we can take and bring in more dollars to our community and value. Because, and here's Dr. Brooks, a lot of people understand and know or see the value of North Chicago. We have outsiders coming in, buying up our land, buying up our houses because they understand and see the value of North Chicago. And so I want to encourage our young people, get the credit good and, work on having your own place and increase the value and a sense of self-esteem, because there's nothing like having your own.
I was looking at surrounding Great Lakes Naval Base, the Abbott Laboratories, ADV, and which is proposing to spend $40 million for a school in North Chicago with the Neal's Academy.
Yes.
And other businesses surround us. Have you thought about having contact with those businesses to have them help?
Well, Dr. Brooks, actually, the city's already in contact with them. They're already doing great things in our community, in our neighborhood, and we just hope that we can continue to keep that good relationship with them to take North Chicago to a whole nother level. But yes, those are great businesses. Matter of fact, my first job was at Abbott.
Okay.
I started at Abbott when I was young, and then I worked there for a while, and then I went on to other things.
What piqued your interest? Now you had other professional interests, but what piqued your interest in politics?
Well, I would just say because of my desire to help people, and again, I said earlier about being a servant. So I feel this is a one way that I can take my desire to serve and to help people to a whole nother level. Like I said, I didn't just start yesterday. I've been doing this all my life. And it's a way that I can help our seniors, help our young people, help our millennials. I mean, what do we have? What do we have for them? So it's my passion to help those groups of people to enjoy North Chicago, to enjoy the 5th Ward, to make it a beautiful place, and even part of cleaning it up, making it a better place. So these are some of the things I want to do. I mean, I just have a passion for people, not only young people, but people in general, our seniors. Sometimes we forget about our seniors. True enough, we have senior citizen homes, and a lot of times the kids forget about their parents. They just put them in there and forget about them. But our seniors is the history of North Chicago. They're the history of who we are. you know. And so one of the things I do is get more senior programs and implement better senior programs, and making our seniors feel safe and secure, fixing up the sidewalks, the streets, all of these things where they can have, you know, because a lot of them are trip hazards. So getting those things fixed, and again, it takes time, but I have time. I'm still young.
Why is there so much voter apathy, though, not only in the Fifth Ward, but North Chicago and Lake County? How can you get people more active in
Well, that's
voting?
really sad, you know, and this being Black History Month, you know, what I've committed to do, not only just in this month, but with my wife, watching Black History Month, watching different programs, Black movies, Black documentaries. And then, you know, when you see what our people went through to get the right to vote, you can appreciate it. But see, again and again, in Black history, it's not really taught in our schools. I remember, you know, I took summer school, so I could take Black history with Mr. Dorsey in summer school.
Yeah.
You know, the importance of knowing our history. But if you don't know the history, you can't appreciate the history. We shouldn't live in the past, but we should know the past so we can appreciate the past, and we can do better when we going forward and making things better for the future. But if you don't learn from the past, it's inevitable that you will repeat the past, because a lesson unlearned is a lesson returned. So going back, I think we don't really appreciate the importance of what our forefathers did to get us the right to vote. And what I've been trying to do is encourage the young people to go out and vote. You know, everybody wants change, but nobody wants to help in making that change. And that's where the votes come in, of what you want to have done. And even before, I've known people, well, did you vote? No, I didn't vote. You know, and everybody had their different reasons. But the question is, again, going back to my slogan, success begins with you and me. It's a team. We have to work together, and increasing the motivation of what I'm trying to do. And I'm believing the numbers are going to be good on this election, because I'm working on trying to get the people excited about voting once again.
All right, you remember great men discuss ideas or have visions. Average men discuss events, and small men discuss things. And you appear to be the person that discuss ideas, because
Yes,
you're
sir.
talking about the vision that you have for the Fifth Ward and also for North Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Where would you like to see North Chicago 10 years from now?
Wow. 10 years.
Because it takes, in other words, you have to have a strategic plan, right?
Yes.
Does North Chicago have a strategic plan?
So
that
yes,
you know of?
That I know of, yes. Our mayor and the city council, they're working on a lot of different programming. Like I said, it's been a while to try to get some grocery store here, but we have it. But Dr. Brooks, 10 years. I want to see 10 years. You know, watch it. When I say this word, what are you going to think about? Wisconsin Dells. What do you think about? Have you been there?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was
That's a place where everybody wants to go to Wisconsin Dells. I want North Chicago, maybe not 10 years, but almost there, where everybody's talking, oh, I got to go to North Chicago. I want to go here to go there, do this in North Chicago. And because back in the day, now, it was, some people called it a negative, but it was a hot spot when we had the Strip. Okay, that's what it was called. But Sheridan Road was a hot spot. A lot of businesses there, you know, a lot of things you could do there. So getting us back to that place where North Chicago is like the spot to go to the movies, to go get this and to go get that. That's what I want to see happen for it. And I believe it can happen because, again, the acronyms for team, together, each accomplishes much.
Well, are we going to have it by having gaming cafes? We got gaming cafes just dominate the city of North Chicago.
Yes. Okay. And what I mean when I say yes, I mean yes. I know that's a lot of the gaming, that's going on. But here's what I want to say: gaming is just one piece of revenue. We get the taxes from that. The casino is coming. We'll get money from that. And see, all of these taxes that the city is getting money for is one of the ways we can help bring down the taxes that we are, as homeowners, are paying. Yes, the taxes are high as a homeowner. So bringing in more revenue can keep us from raising up the taxes on the homeowners. And it's not about, even personally, it's just business. And being business, you have to do some things that may be uncomfortable at first. But Dr. Brooks, it's investing in the city. We can talk about the taxes, but if the monies are going toward the city to make the city better, it's an investment. And see, and when you have an investment outside of the city, you have your own personal investment. You're going to have your highs and your lows. Okay, but if you make a good investment, your return will pay off in the long run. And the gaming, that's one avenue of getting returns back to the city.
But there's no gaming at all in a city south of us. Libertyville, they don't have gaming. Lake Forest.
Okay, and again, look at the money that's in Libertyville too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's everybody has their different challenges.
You spoke about Black history, but things you do for yourself are gone when you're gone. But the things that you do, the things that you do for yourself are gone when you're gone. But the things that you do for others remain as your legacy.
Exactly. And and let me say, when you mentioned when you mentioned former Mayor Kukla, I remember Mayor Kukla he had a little storefront. And as a kid, I used to go there, buy candy. And see, that same principle is what we need back in North Chicago. Small businesses, supporting small business. And then his vision went on to be a mayor, And so that's what we have to do. We got to take these little mom and pop shops and grow the business, support our own businesses, and keep our money in our city. And bring it and raise, and like I said, former Mayor Kukla, he was in North Chicago and had a business in North Chicago and became the mayor of North Chicago. And I'm sure there's other people too, but that's just what I did as a kid. And as a kid, now I'm grown and I have a business in North Chicago. So I'm just saying, these are just ideas of ways to keep the money in North Chicago. And like a lot of people, they'll come here, and it's sad to say, but it is what it is. They'll come in, make the money in North Chicago, and then they'll go somewhere else and live and pay the taxes or whatever and have their home another place. But I believe we can get North Chicago to a place where people want to come here, have their businesses here, have their homes here. And that's one of the ways that's going to take North Chicago to the next level.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Kenneth Smith. Kenneth, photography, and he's a resident of North Chicago and a candidate for the 5th Ward. We didn't mention about when the election is going to be.
February 23rd. The polling places would be the same as before, Foss Park, and then the North Chicago Youth Center that's on Lewis Avenue. Early voting is going on right now. Okay, so you have to go to the city county building, downtown Waukegan, for early voting. Early voting is effect, and you can go in and make the early voting.
Lives of great men often remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing, leaving behind us footprints on the sands of time. We're going to depart now. Our time is up. And ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Smith, resident North Chicago, candidate for 5th Ward Alderman in North Chicago. This has been Community Forum. My name is Dr. Wadell Brooks Sr., your host.